So you literally got stronger mentally and physically in jail.
Absolutely. And it was fantastic for training. I kind of miss that single-mindedness I had in jail. Now I don't do 1,000 push-ups a day, not because I can't, but because I have things to do.
Right.
And I have work, and my phone's ringing, and I've got things to do on my laptop. But back then, it's like, I'm gonna do 1,000 push-ups, and I have nothing else to do. That single-mindedness was actually quite beautiful, because in the world we live in today, we're all permanently distracted. At least half of the time, at least a fraction of you is always thinking, what's on my phone? What's that person doing? What's this girl doing? Or what's this work I have to do? Yeah. But when you're in jail, after a while, you lose access to anything outside of your immediate. So you focus on the immediate. It's like going back in time. Mm-hmm. You know, do you remember the 90s? You remember? Maybe I'm an old man. The early 2000s, before we lived inside the Matrix and the metaverse, when you were just in a room with someone and that was it. Mm-hmm. I had conversations in jail. Me and my brother would talk for days about the same subject. We've never spoken like that since. There's been time, I've said this to Tristan only a few days ago. 2 days ago, we were having a cigar in the cigar room, and we were talking about something. I was like, we talked about this for half an hour. We would have talked about this for days in jail, weeks perhaps. So much magic is lost outside of a jail cell. So what a blessing from God that I got to experience that for those 3 months and be cerebral enough to retain those lessons, or at least be aware now of what I'm missing in the real world. Because you don't realize what you're missing until you're put in a position like that. And what suffering did I have to go through to get such a blessing from God? Well, I had to deal with the media saying bad things about me, but I don't care. I genuinely don't care. They can print bad things about me for the rest of my life. I'm not going to shut up. I don't care. I had to deal with the cockroaches, and the bed bugs and the spiders, which I must admit was probably the worst thing about jail. And I had to deal with some nightmares when I got out. But all in all, and I was saying this to Tristan in jail, we were sitting there, I was saying, we'd often have conversations when we were at our lowest, when we felt particularly depressed. We'd say, let's name things worse than jail. Because we're supposed to be in a bad situation.
The worst of the worst.
What's worse than jail? That can happen in everyday life. Well, cancer is worse than jail. A car crash is worse than jail. Getting drafted into a war you don't want to fight in is worse than jail. I argued, we started finding, and over time, we ended up with a huge list of things that everyone suffers from every single day that are worse than a jail cell. Right? My enemies think they damaged me by putting me in jail. All they've done is make me more powerful and give me a story and give me an experience and make me more aware and acutely interested in ensuring that I am, I wouldn't say present, because I've always understood that I'm, semi-distracted and busy people always are. But I kind of feel like, would I be crazy to call it a health retreat? Like kind of like a mindfulness retreat. Yeah. I went to a mindfulness retreat, and because of it, and we'll say the insects were nature. I went to experience nature in a mindfulness retreat with my best friend and brother. And there was no distractions. They only allowed me to be distracted for 20 minutes every 2 days with the jail phone. And besides that, I had to focus on what I was doing at the time. Lucky me.
How did your
I kind of want to go back.